Hi, I'm with Badger Basket, here to go through the doll crib with 2 baskets. Before we get started, make sure you look at all the pieces required. If you're missing anything or have any damaged parts, contact Badger Basket as shown in the end of the video. Please note that this does come in multiple colors, but the assembly will be the same. So let's get started with step 1. For step 1, you're going to need part A, which is one of the end panels. You're going to need 2 of part B, which is the slatted rail, 2 of part C, which is the bottom rail, and 6 of the G screws. So what we'll do first is I'm going to put in these bottom rails onto the inside of this end panel. You'll notice one side will have the rose decor at the top. That's going to go to the outside, and all of our pieces are going to go to the inside, away from that rose decoration. When looking at the end rail, you're going to see that there's a dowel and a hole. The dowel is going to be to the top hole, and the hole for a screw is going to be facing towards the bottom. Lastly, what you'll need is this groove on this bottom rail to be facing towards the inside. So this piece, for example, will be going like this: dowel up and groove to the inside, and we'll get it screwed in from the back side. And then same with this other bottom rail. It'll be the dowel to the top, the screw hole to the bottom, and the groove to the inside, so that these grooves are facing towards each other. So for this demonstration, I'm going to be using a drill to make it a little bit easier. If you choose to use a drill, make sure you have the torque setting set on low so that you don't strip the wood. Otherwise, feel free to use a hand Phillips screwdriver as well. So you'll see from this side here where those screws are going to go into place. So let's get those screwed in. So next we're going to be putting on the slatted rail. For the slatted rail, the 2 holes on the end will align with these 2 screws holes here. What we're going to want is the groove on the bottom rail facing towards the inside. So for example, this one will be screwed in just as so. For the other side, it's going to be the same thing. We will have the bottom rail that'll have the groove facing towards the insides. The 2 grooves face each other. So let's get these ones screwed into place. Now let's get started with step 2. For step 2, what we're going to be putting in is the 2 bottom panels, which are part D, and the end panel, which is part A. So to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to tip this up on its side here. And if you put in these rails correctly, you should have the 2 grooves here that align and the 2 grooves here that align. This is where those bottom panels are going to go. When looking at part D, the bottom panel, one side will be white, the other side will be brown. White is going to be facing up towards the slatted rails. So I'm going to align this right in the grooves here and slide it right into place. I'll do the same thing with this bottom groove here on this bottom rails. Line it right in the groove and slide it right into place. The last thing I'm going to do is put this last end panel on, part A, which will be the same as the first step, and you're going to have the 6 holes that are going to align to all those rails we put in place. Now just remember, the inside has those 2 holes, which is where this dowel on these bottom rails is going to align with, and then you have the screw hole. So make sure the dowel hole is in place when you're putting in the screws so that it has a nice snug fit. So let's get this the bottom rails and the slatted rails screwed into that end panel. For the next steps, we're going to be putting in the doll accessories for the crib. So first, what I'm going to do is put in the bumper and the liner, which is part F. What you're going to want to do is put this down on the bottom of the crib and fold up the sides around the whole bumper here. And you're going to see some ties here. These ties are going to be tied around 6 different places along that slatted rail. So let's first get these tied in place. Once you have it all tied into place, we'll put in the doll pillows within that crib set. And then lastly, what we need to do is make the baskets for the bottom. So we're going to be using part E and then another part E. So these are the basket bodies and these are the basket bottoms that you'll be inserting into the open part of the basket. This is what's going to give the basket its shape. We'll take the other basket bottom, put it right into place. Last thing you need to do is put those baskets at the bottom of the crib, and you're all set. And thanks for watching. Remember, if you have any questions or concerns, contact Badger Basket as shown in the end of the video. Otherwise, enjoy!